squad like, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. No, I say you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want. Call us dangerous. Ain't too many can play with us. See what this game here taking us. No barber, ain't no fading us. I ain't really saying much. Actions be louder than words, man. I just wanna be heard, for your mom to your pop to the beat to the birds, man. Cut right off on the curb like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my home team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog. I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like blah. Yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, what? In the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah. You don't want problems. No, I say you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want. Yeah, I been so my frustration, I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Masterpiece, my masterpiece, that mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ride it. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't pound us around me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up? I'm ready for war. You got to love it like blah. Yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, what? In the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. No, I say you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want.
First opened in 2017. There's a look at the beautiful state-of-the-art Mercedes-Benz Stadium here in Atlanta, GA. A moment ago, here was the scene. The Falcons coming out from their tunnel to the roar of all the folks here in Atlanta. We're ready for football as these Falcons get set to match up with the New York Jets. Lachlan Edwards has it on the tee and ready to go. And we are underway from Atlanta. This fielded at the 2. And nothing but daylight ahead. Past the 20. Touchdown, Falcons. That kick return TD is 98 yards in length as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. So a heck of a start to this one. We haven't even gotten settled in already in the end zone on the opening kickoff.
And you know what happens, Tim? Now you got to translate what that means, because I think for the team that just scored, their defense, I think they'll be more aggressive now. They'll be bolder. They're playing with a lead and an early one and some momentum. So if you're the offensive coordinator on the other side of the field, you'd better be prepared for some heavy pressure coming your way. They're going to try and get another big score and a big one early.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
We're going to sign 57. Man, that's trash. That's trash. Kill, man, 80. Kill, turn it.
They'll run here with a former Steeler. This is Le'Veon Bell. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Here we go. Here we go.
Darnold now to throw. Under pressure now. Darnold, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Darnold and the Jets come up 3rd and long following the sack. Back to throw, Darnold, and he fires one that's intercepted. Linebacker, and his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the Jets' 21-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
I got one. Shoot! What? Wait! Let him go!
Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. And that will be taken in by Ridley for a Falcon touchdown. Calvin Ridley there to make the grab. And the Falcons push further out in front. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. Tackle made there by Zach Brown.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Team 6. 45, 45, Mike, 45. Don't get nervous.
From the 35 on second down, Darnold. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Here we go, son. 45 to Mike. Check, 45 to Mike. You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid of me. You ready? 45 to Mike, 45 to Mike. 65, 65. 65.
On first and 10, Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Devondre Campbell flies in to blow that play up.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
It's been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17.
Set the tone, defense.
Here's Darnold. Caught here by Griffin. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is third down. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. He finds his target. It's Crowder. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 13-yard line. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a second and long. Out of the pistol, it's Bell. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 that time. They'll be left with a third down and about 9 to go.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Throwing here on third down, Darnold. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now fourth down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta. So here's a first and 10 at the 38.
58. He's cracked. Hey, 59, ready.
They run. Devontae Freeman. He's got the first down and more past midfield. Devontae Freeman. They're not going to get him. Touchdown, Falcons. Devontae Freeman. 62 yards. And the Falcons push further out in front. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now, because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. About the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Darnold from the gun. Letting one go deep for a noon walk. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. You know, during these preseason games, we're in week 2 right now, it's always funny looking at our spot charts up here in the booth, because with all the guys that might play in this one, it seems to get bigger and bigger each year.
Yeah, we pretty much supersize them, don't we? Because, you know, remember, they're carrying 90 now. And with the new rules, they'll carry 90 all the way through the preseason before they make the final cut. Oh, yeah, a lot of guys to learn for these games.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Gets this one to Le'Veon Bell. And he will be marked down short of the first as they get to him at the 29. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. On 4th down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. And how about this, a fake? And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. 2 seconds to go, first quarter.
51,
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 21-3 is your score after 1. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there,
Ryan. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. And a big play there on 2nd down, but we do have a flag on the field. This is in the area where it might be coming back. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now Ryan. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And that will be incomplete. As we thought they might do here in week 2 of the preseason, they've left their starting quarterback out there for this 2nd quarter, but I would imagine we will not see him after halftime.
Yeah, this is the time of year you've got to get your backup some reps and make sure you protect your starting quarterback.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will extend their lead even further. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now it's Darnold. A screen to Bell. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13.
First down, Jets.
Check, 45 to Mike. So we got man.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Mike, 57. Hey, they're scared. They're scared.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Darnold. Griffin's got it, middle of the field. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 23 yards the pickup there. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Darnold. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Solid coverage on the play by Devondre Campbell. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Darnold. And his throw is incomplete.
So now here in the 2nd week of the preseason, you'd expect the starters play a little bit more than they did in week 1, but not a whole lot.
So if you're an offensive coordinator, what are you looking for?
What you're looking for is things getting cleaned up as you go along, because most of your playbook's probably installed. How well are they handling it? Easy in and out of the huddle? No mental mistakes? Are they starting to look like a good offensive football team?
And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as they'll stop him well short of the yellow line. On 4th down, the Jets turn things over to Locke Edwards to punt it. Kenyon Barner, deep for Atlanta. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And a bit of a daunting task here for this offense as they'll start out at the 1-yard line.
I guess you could easily say there's a whole lot of real estate in front of them if they want to achieve their goal, which is get to the other end zone.
And 99 yards to go if they want to do just that. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. 14 yards there on a Falcon first down.
And Falcons fans everywhere excited that Devontae Freeman is back on the field wearing number 24 in the red and black. Remember, he went down in week 2 in 2018 with an injury and didn't return. They're hoping to see the form that led him to 1,000-yard seasons in 2015 and 2016.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
On 2nd down, it's Freeman. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves him needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9. From the shotgun, Ryan. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And down needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Now Darnold. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
The Jets on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. To throw is Darnold. Now they go screen. It's complete. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. That's leaking to the right, and he missed it by a foot or two. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 at the 46-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
I'm coming, baby. I'm coming, baby. Woo! 22. Check 3.
Ryan going to give to Freeman on the draw. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
Ready. Check 25. Here it comes. Here it comes. Check 31. Check 31. Check. Hey, check. Hey, Delta. 57 to Mike. 57.
On 3rd down, Ryan. He's going to let this go for the end zone. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Trying to disrupt Julio Jones there, the intended target. A little too close, got the flag thrown.
I'm not sure anyone can cover Julio Jones one-on-one for very long without getting their share of pass interference calls. His size, his speed, his physicality makes it almost impossible to do.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Now it's Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and goal. Final play of the half. It's Ryan. And he's going to go down. So they pass up the field goal attempt to go for 6, but as a result, they leave points on the field, and that's going to do it for this first half. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Expect to see a good number of backups going forward as we are back and underway here in preseason week 2. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. This is the running back, Powell. Finding room at the 30. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down.
This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on 1st and 2nd down, and needing long yardage to try and pick up a 1st down, and they ended up nice yardage. You don't expect to be in this situation on 4th down, but guess what? It all started with what happened on 1st and 2nd down. Really put them behind the 8 ball.
And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad.
At their own 15-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
That backs them up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 11.
Set, ready, 60 or. Number 53, Mike 53. Hey, watch the snap.
Here's Shaw. Over the middle, complete. It's Blake. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A nice pickup there, 18 yards. 1st down, Falcons.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Shaw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Terrell Basham showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack.
Go! Go! 6 guys! Look, squeeze!
On play action, they'll throw. He's going to let this one go deep. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Falcons. Russell Gage, 71 yards. And the Falcons push further out in front. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the 3rd quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done, it's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. The first down screen pass, good for 5.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Go. Check 4. Check 13.
On second down now, it's Powell, and he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Ready? First down, Jets. 44. Let's go heavy. Tell me what you got. Dude.
From the 50, it's Simeon. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. He got 29 yards that time. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Jets are able to close the gap just a bit. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive. And how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. His throw incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll set up a throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Schaub now 3 out of 5 since taking over as he's given his guys a first down. Back to throw. That's complete to Smith. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack is a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down.
Brings up third down and 5.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more preseason football on EA Sports. The Falcons on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll set up to throw. Shakes off the sack. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The sack by Jordan Willis.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. Taken in at the 22. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10.
At their own 33-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
36-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It's second and 8 at the 36-yard line.
And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And he's got a noon one. 20, 10, and he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Quincy Enunwa, 62 yards. And the Jets are able to cut into this deficit.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
How about the throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
First and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Hey, stand up. Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. Look at me. Go.
Now the first carry for Brian Hill. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Set, ready? 15, line it. 15 line. 2.
Now on 2nd and 13. Shaw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The Falcons on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. He'll drop to throw. They'll set up the screen to Smith. There he goes left side. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Ito Smith, 69 yards. And the Falcons push further out in front. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy, who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
All day, every day, any day.
And some space here. That one 28 yards on the ground.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
On first down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be second down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
It's a party now. It's a party now.
Well, maybe a free play for Simeon. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Let's go. 18 Gator. Let's go.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
On second down, it's Powell. And he